Hi guys, this is Majed Zambaraji from Time Express. We'd like to talk to you today about export to the Middle East and Africa and what you really need to know in order to make these exports happen. So thank you very much for joining us. During today's session, I'll be talking to you about what are some of the interesting facts about the Middle East. Particularly, Middle East has got a population of around 2.5 billion when we include India and Africa. The business language is English. Main trade relationships are India with India is the US and the UK. And for the Middle East, we basically have China, US, and Germany. The top consumer goods producers are, of course, in China and India. And of course, the big consuming markets are Africa and the Middle East. Africa has over 400 companies which have 200 million revenue targets, and they're projected to continue to grow at more than 4%, 4 to 5% per year. Interesting facts about the UAE is that the main headquarter of the UAE is Dubai, which a lot of people have heard about it. There's less than 10% Emiratis in the UAE, the rest of expatriates. We host over 7,100 companies in the free trade zone, and out of which 160 are Fortune 500 companies. The Jebel Ali port holds about 15 million containers a year and is considered one of the top 10 global ports in the world. The UAE economy is oil and gas based, predominantly out of Abu Dhabi, but tourism and hospitality are also very, very big. We have the world's largest shopping mall. So if you're looking to do a trip to the UAE, I'm sure your family would actually be very happy. And we also have the tallest building in the world, which is Burj Al Arab. The brands in Dubai, it's a big landmark. A lot of people recognize Dubai. And one of the most interesting facts is Dubai World Central Airport actually holds 220,000 tons of cargo a year, which is the size of London Heathrow and Chicago O'Hara combined. So we have a big hub for logistics. We welcome you to download our app on Shopify and WooCommerce to directly integrate into our logistics services and into your merchant store without having to create any API or interfaces. Next slide is about Dubai, how it was and how it is today. So as you can see, we've gone miles from desert scapes into big skyscrapers across the country. So the company has grown tremendously over the last 40 years. One of the things about what we can offer you in terms of our capabilities in the UAE, so we have a very efficient distribution network for inbound and outbound. We can offer you road freight within the GCC for small package, as well as freight, warehousing and refurbishment. We can represent your company over here as an IOR, importer of record. We can manage your inventory locally, and we have a state-of-the-art visibility system in terms of the supply chain. Total capacity we have is 33,118 square meters, and we have also quite a decent chunk which is temperature controlled. We do cross-docking operation, inventory control, importer of record, as well as sea freight in order to manage your end-to-end shipments from the US or anywhere else in the world. UAE happens to be in a very, very particular corridor. So if you look at the right-hand side of the key trade lanes, it starts from China, and then from China we actually go into India, into UAE, Africa, and then South America. Knowing that these three clusters between Brazil and India, they represent 58% of the trade that takes place from India, and 50% of the Chinese trade takes place in the southern hemisphere, which is a very, very, very significant amount. And we actually see this continuous trend to happen. What we could also do is have your goods come from China to Dubai, transship for it to go to the US, which is again another economical way of actually sending your goods to the US. A little bit about the Middle East. We have a 2.9 trillion GDP. We hold 33% of the oil reserves into the Middle East, predominantly led by Saudi Arabia. We're a tax-free country, and we have around 23 billion online purchases that take place, which makes it a very, very interesting market for you to penetrate and to have representation in if you need any help to actually expand into that market. What the business leaders say is they really see our region as one of the fastest growing regions in the world, and you can see some really interesting comments in terms of the global economic system and how the revenue growth, the efficiency, the legislations, which are extremely efficient in this part of the world. Talking a little bit about Africa. So when we look at the physical and landmass of Africa, it actually represents the US combined with China, India, Eastern Europe, as well as Italy, France. So it's a massive, massive, massive area in terms of demographics, and it is a significant amount of land which actually encompasses many, many countries together. Africa by itself has around 600 million internet users, about 382 million workforce, and 50% of which are less than 19 years old. Again, a very attractive market for you, and we hope we can be of service in representing you in these markets so that you can have your logistic services there. Business leaders are superbly optimistic in terms of the business in Africa. It's an under-penetrated market, and I'm sure a lot of your products would actually be very well welcomed over there. This is some of the areas that we actually cover, from UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, India, Pakistan, Iraq, Bangladesh, Turkey, Jordan. It's a one-stop shop for you, and it's a great tool to just plug into our network to have access to all of these shipments. How can you plug into our network? Well, you would need to download the Shopify App Store, which would be the easiest way to do it if you're a Shopify or a WooCommerce merchant, and then automatically you will be interfaced with our backend where all of our rates will actually show up at the payment gateway. We'd love to hear more from you if you would like to expand in the Middle East and Africa, so please do give us a shout and let us know how we can actually help. You have my contact details right below here, and you can also send me a WhatsApp on my cell number, area code 971-50-658-1764. Alternatively, please feel free to send me an email on Zambaraji, that's spelled MZAMBARAJ for John, I for India, at TimeExpress with one E in the middle, .ae. Thank you very much, and we look forward to working with you.